Hello everyone, this is another first episode of a new chemistry series that I am doing. Now, first, we need to figure out what chemistry is. Chemistry is the study of both atoms, molecules, compounds, mixtures, and elements, in my opinion. Now, as you can see, I have a whiteboard right behind me, and I'm going to show you guys the basic stuff that chemistry deals with. So, if you allow me, I can show you the basic levels of chemistry. So first, let's get something right out of the way. So atoms. Or well, hold on. So atoms. Now, what is an atom? An atom is the basic building block to everything in our universe. And if you're a guy like me, you probably love to draw atoms. Now, this is just a little thing. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Okay, so let's label some things. This is an electron, and it has a negative charge. This is a proton, and it has a positive charge. This is a neutron, which has a neutral charge or no charge, and it can be shown with the N and with a little zero. The N with a little zero right here. There. The N with a little zero. Now, let's get something else out of the way. Along with atoms, there is something that is made of atoms, which is just one atom, or a singular type of atom. So, we're talking about elements. So, an element is a singular type of atom. So, for example, let's get this is hydrogen. Hydrogen has the symbol H. here, I'll just point them out real quick. This is the element name, hydrogen. This is the atomic number, and I'll get into the atomic mass soon. Now, the atomic number is based off of two things. One being the subatomic particle part of the nucleus, which is the middle of an atom, the proton, and the electrons in the outer valence shells. Now, with this in mind, we now know the basic things about elements. Elements are actually sorted by something called the periodic table, and I'll get that ready for us real quick. Hold on, let me do something real quick. I have to make a box that is so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And so now we have let me draw this real quick. And so that is the, hold on. Okay, so that is what the periodic table looks like. And so this guy right here is actually a hydrogen. And this guy over here is actually helium. This guy over here is oganesson, the last element on the periodic table. There is 118 elements on the periodic table, and it is used to sort the elements that make up something else that I'm about to talk about right here. So now I'm going to talk about the another thing that's made of two or more different elements or atoms, and that is compounds. So think about water. Water has the chemical formula of H2O. Now, this 2 means that there are 2 hydrogen atoms bonded to 1 oxygen atom. So it'll look something like that. Wait, no, hold on. I did that so wrong. It'll look like that. 1 oxygen atom with 2 hydrogen atoms bonded to it. Now, there's also other types of compounds, like, for example, CO2, which is carbon dioxide. This one looks like this. But here's the thing. It's actually double bonded, meaning that it actually looks like this, with 2 little bonds that combine these 2 atoms to this 1 carbon atom. Now, what is a mixture? Well, I'm glad you asked. A mixture is... Oh wait, I haven't even talked about molecules. Molecules... So, there's a saying that I heard from my science teacher last year, where all compounds are molecules, but not all molecules are compounds. And I think that's very true, because you can have an element that's also a molecule. So, for example, 2 oxygen atoms bonded to make an oxygen atom. And with 2 hydrogen atoms, also a hydrogen molecule. Now, a mixture is going to be a whole bunch of these. So, it's a bunch of compounds, elements, and atoms, and even molecules, and molecules, that will make up a big thing, but they're not actually chemically bonded. So this atom, this carbon atom, wouldn't be bonded to hydrogen, and neither would this be bonded to any of these. None of this would be bonded together. There's 2 types, both starting with H, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Now, the difference between both of these is that hetero is a word starter that means alike. Now, homogeneous is different because homo, the prefix homo, means different. For example, homogeneous, heterochromia. Wait. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why that happens. Anyways, so these aren't bonded together. And so there's solutions, suspensions, and colloids. So I'm going to give you a quick run through. So imagine milk. Milk is a colloid. solutions are a bit different. Imagine putting a packet of lemonade powder into water. It makes a lemonade-like drink, though you can't actually see the individual atoms, molecules, and compounds that make it up. Now, suspensions are going to be a bit different. Suspensions have big parts that you can see. Stuff like trail mix and salad is like a suspension in a way. And so that's a bunch of stuff that I just talked about today. I'm really tired, so I'm sorry if I sound a bit weird. Yeah. I'll see you guys soon. Anyways. So, yeah, this was the first episode of chemistry, and yeah.